MyOutdoorTV is your home for every Major League Fishing 2023 event.
Yes, sir.
Including the new General Tire Team Series.
I put the team on my back, baby.
Watch free on MyOutdoorTV with promo code MLF30.
Going into a tough tournament, I think the biggest part of it is it's a mental game.
You just have to take what you know and apply it quick.
We just caught us a bass.
Before that score tracker starts going off.
When the score tracker's going crazy, that's when it's super stressful. Feel the guys breathing down your neck.
Please don't come on.
You never give up in fishing because you just never know when something might click.
There's one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, that was a big.
Get in here.
That's what we're looking for, baby.
General Tire's Major League Fishing. It's the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup from Rock Hill, South Carolina, presented by B&W Trailer Hitches.
It's cool. I'm cold. I love it, Lou.
It's steady climbing, but it's hanging out in the upper 60s. Needless to say, me like.
The big key here is going to be finding bait. So, we're going to drive around and look for birds, look for shad if we can find some shad.
It looks more fertile, a lot more bank grass. You got some of this moss here.
It's a big zone. I mean, we've got the whole lake, which is like 12,000 acres or something, which doesn't sound like that much, but it is all fishable.
It may be tough because it's the time of year, but I'm excited to go explore a new body of water that I've never been to before.
Welcome to General Tire's Major League Fishing. 23 anglers have converged in Rock Hill, South Carolina to compete for the title of Challenge Cup champion. Today, 8 will face off in Elimination Round 1, but only 6 will move on to the sudden death rounds, putting them one step closer to the Challenge Cup championship. Let's meet today's group of anglers.
Qualifying out of the Bass Pro Tour from Lake Quivira, Kansas, Brent Chapman. Winner of the 2021 Bass Pro Tour Stages 1 and 3, Ott Defo. Home state angler from Prosperity, South Carolina, Anthony Gagliardi. Joining us from Waco, Texas, Alton Jones Jr. From Prattville, Alabama, Russ Lane. Two-time Cup champion, Takahiro Omori. From Wynne, Arkansas, Mark Rose. And joining us from Wetumpka, Alabama, Greg Vinson. With the anglers having no idea where they'll be fishing, they must pack for every situation. Mark Rose shows us how he prepared for the unknown. In today's General Tire, anywhere is possible.
All right, let the cups begin, folks. Here we are at the Challenge Cup in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Don't know anything about this area. The tagline for these cups is General Tire's anywhere is possible. To start out, I gotta have something to fish hard cover with, docks, laydowns, bushes, whatever. So I've got the little Strike King Menace on here. It really imitates shad really well. And this time of year, as you notice, it's fall. That water temperature is cooling off. The shad should be moving up in the water column and the fish should be moving along with them. If there's flats or anything in the back of these creeks, I've got a Strike King 1/4 ounce red-eye shad, chrome blue, just imitates shad really well. A lot of times they feed on really small shad this time of year, so that's a good bait that I can just cover a lot of water with. If there's docks, bank grass, whatever, I can take this Strike King Skipping Buzz and skip it underneath places, get it in tight cover, or just go down the bank with it. If I need to really slow down, if the water is clear, I'll take a Strike King, little 1/8 ounce shaky head. I can put a Strike King Fat Baby Finesse worm on there, or a little bigger worm, or a crawl imitator, or whatever. That's just like a banana split to a bass right there, man. Just gets a lot of bites. So these are the baits that I will have on my deck to begin with, and by the end of the day, there'll probably be about 20 more.
With no practice and no information, the anglers only have 30 minutes to run the lake and try to formulate a game plan. With more on the options they have available to them, let's go out to Marty Stone with today's lake breakdown.
Chad, this morning we've let these anglers loose on one of the finest lakes in South Carolina, in my opinion. Often when anglers think of South Carolina, they think of Lake Hartwell, Lake Murray, even Santee Cooper, and rightfully so. But Lake Waterly is smaller in size. It covers just under 13,000 acres in surface area, 181 miles of shoreline, 21 miles from dam to dam. In the last 7 or 8 years, it has truly come on strong. But unfortunately for these anglers, we're here in the late summer, early fall. For the last several weeks in the Carolinas, the daytime temps has been anywhere between the mid and upper 90s. And the oxygen level in most of these lakes are depleted. But now, we finally got a cooling trend. Probably the keys on this lake today is gonna be the backs of the creeks or up in the river. The cover on this lake is gonna be pretty consistent throughout. It's gonna be rocks, docks, laydowns, and the new player on this lake is water willow. Particular water willow is an aquatic vegetation that's helped increase the carrying capacity on this lake. This is a challenge cup. No matter where you're at in the south, it's gonna be tough fishing, but these anglers are on a really good lake.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Dude, I'm seeing a ton of fish out here. I wanted to fish shallow, and I'm gonna start a shallow, but seeing a lot of life out here on these points and stuff.
Yeah, that's a bunch of bait right here. This place is full of bait.
Dude, I cannot see what I want to see. Too foggy. But I think this looks good. Everything looks too good. Like a bank of grass to docks, a bunch of those herring.
I want to go underneath this little bridge right here and see what's back here.
A lot of rock out in there. It's all just solid rock. All that in here, some big stuff and some small stuff, but all kind of rock.
There's a bird. That's a good sign. There's another bird.
I gotta fish these docks. You cannot miss those signs. That's the sign that says you fish here.
I've got a lot of clear water stuff tied on, and looks like I need some muddy water stuff. This type of stuff like this in the fall is like fish magnets here, isolated pieces of wood.
So that sure does look fishy. That's typically where all the fish live, are in those no-boat areas. They know that. Those fish just know these kind of things.
We got 15 minutes to make a decision.
Need to find some more seawalls. I think I saw some in here.
I just picked out one of these creeks a little further down the lake. Got a little bit more deeper water to look at. Still tons of bait everywhere.
Tell you what, so far I'm excited. It looks like a shallow water fisherman's dream here. A lot of shallow docks, water willows, laydowns, so it's gonna set up for a really good fall fishery. I've seen a few birds around. I've seen a few locals fishing, so getting in this little creek here, it looks like there might actually be a little current here. So that's a promising sign. We might have to start on this bridge.
We're gonna start on that bridge and just see where it takes us.
I'm gonna start with the bridges, the fish all this dock and this back end to see what's out here.
Can't go wrong. I mean, hey, it's a cup event. Starting on a bridge is it's just like the most high percentage place you can start.
Well, here we go. I saw some birds, but I didn't see any bait on the surface, which is kind of maybe expected with the conditions we have today, so you just have to assume that the birds know where the bait is. I decided to start on a bridge here because bridges are always good. So from there, I've got plenty of places marked that look good to hopefully catch some fish.
You'll find expert bass fishing know-how from Mercury MLF Pro Team anglers at MajorLakeFishing.com/Mercury Pro Tactics.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive. General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Berkeley. Your fish, our science. Wiley X Eyewear. Go confidently. And by Kubota. Together, we do more.
Well, our cup season is about to begin here on Lake Wateree in South Carolina. What is it? Challenge Cup? Is that what this is?
Yes, sir.
Challenge Cup. It'll probably be a challenge this week, I would have to imagine.
It's Elimination Round 1 of General Tire's Major League Fishing. The first group of 8 anglers are preparing for battle on Lake Wateree for the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup, presented by B&W Trailer Hitches from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Today's elimination round will consist of 3 periods. A scoreable bass must weigh at least 1 pound. The top 6 competitors at the end of the day will advance to sudden death and move 1 step closer to the championship round. Major League Fishing's Elimination Round 1 begins now.
3, 2, 1. Lines in. This is the beginning of the 2022 Challenge Cup. Here we go.
We will not be starting on time.
Let's not suck. That's the goal today. Don't suck.
So far, nobody back here, and this is first day and fresh fish.
Good thing is we got score tracker. And if I need to switch it up, we'll know it quick because guys will start popping off.
Well, it looks like a really good spot for old shallow bass to be laying.
Well, just like you suspect, there's plenty of shad around this bridge. So that should mean that there's some fish around here.
Got a little buzzbait action here. It's a finesse buzzbait, just a little 1/4 ouncer. I've got a little swim bait on the back. And it's just something I can cover water with, and it's fall time. These fish should be fairly keyed in on shad when you get around them. And if they're shallow at all this morning, a buzzbait's a great way to get a bite. It's just, all you do in these cup events, you're trying to look for a hint as quick as you can.
Do I have to be top what today to make it?
I believe it's top 6.
6? Only 2 guys?
Anybody caught anything yet?
No.
I thought somebody would have ran into one by now.
I'm gonna bet that in the first period, not everybody is on the score tracker.
Cover water. We're gonna cover water the first period and try to figure out what the fish are on. I'm gonna be really surprised if they're not in this bank grass a little bit. There's one. So this is gonna be what I'm doing, most likely. I don't know if he's a pound. He may be close. I mean, it's September. It's
1 pound, 7 ounces.
It's the fall. It's time to put on moving baits, cover water, fish the obvious.
Anthony Russ Lane is the first angler on the
There
score
we
tracker.
go.
His fish weighed 1 pound, 7 ounces.
That'll get everybody going, maybe.
Russ is on there first.
First scoreable bass of the day. Well, we don't have to worry about being the first one now.
Like he got it too. Got it like hung up on the grass right there.
Come on. That was not a big one, but maybe he'll go a pound if I can get him to bite.
Boy, them logos are slick. Almost busted my butt when I set the hook on that fish.
There'll be some decent quality fish in here. It's good. As much bait as there is.
Got it. Nice one. Keeper.
Fish landing violation, 2-minute penalty.
My was it. I don't want to say that, but take care of the fish. It's very important for this format.
3 pounds, 1 ounce.
Let's start. Yes.
Takahiro Omori just caught a 3 pound, 1 ounce fish. He is the second one on score tracker.
3 pounder, that's a pretty nice fish.
That's what'll happen, man. That first one gets caught, and then like it opens everything up.
You know he caught it square billing or fishing fast or something. He's the king of the cups.
I was expected the fish shadow migration, so fish come toward the back of the creek. This is kind of a pinch point, and the bridges, you know, have a current moving through. So this is a good place to fish to stop when you migrate it to the back end of the creek.
Got to get that first bite just to help clue you in.
I'll take my first clue anytime, fish.
So this is the time of the year, September, is sometimes suck.
Oh, God.
I heard him. That's a finicky fish.
That's a fish. Caught me by surprise. Get in the boat. Don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it. Man, talk about barely hooked. Not a big one, but it's a start. Oh, don't you do that.
1 pound, 9 ounces.
1.9 on the board.
Brent Chapman just caught a 1 pound, 9 ounce bass. He's the 3rd one on Score Tracker.
There's a few fish being caught then.
Half of us are on the board already. We're gonna have to pick it up, boys.
Stay here all day to catch this fish. It's starting to get personal.
Man, getting that first bite is just such a confidence booster, and it gives you the chance to slow down a little bit. And see, you can't go wrong with a bridge.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing.
3 pounds, 1 ounce. Let's start. Yes.
Takahiro's now moved into first place. If the goal was to throw as many different casts, as many different rods as possible, we'd probably be leading the thing right now.
So this is my trusted 1.5.
While these anglers try to narrow down a working technique, let's take a look at the score tracker. Just over 30 minutes in, and Takahiro Omori leads with a 3 pound, 1 ounce bass he caught on a crankbait. 5 of today's pros have yet to weigh in a bass. And with over 12,000 acres in today's zone, pinpointing the bass is no easy task. Here's Marty Stone for today's Wiley X Eyewear, more than meets the eye.
One of the biggest factors the anglers are going to face today is this bright bluebird skies and the weather that we've got in here. It's a drastic change in this area from what it saw 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, the water temp on this particular lake was anywhere from the high 80s to the low 90s. Right now, this morning when the anglers put their boats in the water, it was 78 degrees. It'll probably get up to the low 80s, but that's a drastic change. And in that change of water temp, it's gonna cause the bait fish and the bass to do a lot of different things. On the main lake, these bass are gonna suspend just because of the thermocline. And in the backs of the creeks, there should be a lot more bait fish that now is gonna migrate in there. Remember, in the fall of the year when you get these cooling temps, and probably just as important, the shorter days, the bait fish are gonna move. So it's gonna put a lot of fish on shallow cover. The bite windows we've got for the moon phases, we've got a major this afternoon from 3:04 to 5:04. Lines are out at 4:30. Should be a good afternoon bite. And then we've got a good mid-morning minor feed from 10:04 to 11:04. A lot of things are in the angler's favor today. It's still early fall, and it will be tough. But for a tough day, the conditions are about as good as the anglers could hope for.
Yeah, good choice of a lake here. I did not expect this.
For this lake, it's good lake.
I would love to fish this lake on a Bass Pro Tour event when you had some practice, because I feel like probably some deep fish on this one.
Still just those 3 fish on?
Yes, sir.
It's like good, I guess.
Fish right there. Well, it's definitely a fertile lake. It's got plenty of bait, so you know, expect it to have a lot of fish. Just kind of picked a section to go through and try a few different types of things, a bridge, some deeper banks with grass, and then now a flat, shallow pocket with a little ditch in the back.
Dude, as soon as that landed, that fish ate it. I don't think he's gonna weigh a pound now. No way he's gonna weigh a pound.
I know they're biting a little bit. Takahiro's he always catches them in these things.
£1 pound, 2 ounces.
Thank you.
Anthony Takahiro Moriya's caught his second fish.
You're running away with it.
Weighed 1 pound, 2 ounces. His total now is 4 pounds, 3 ounces, no other changes.
Talk's done. He can go on in now. Laugh in the field.
Talk's probably chunking and winding.
No, he's running the banks.
Did you look it up and tell me what he caught it on?
I could.
But you won't?
Right.
To keep on the same bait, that could be mean something. Who knows?
The heck, fish? Where y'all at?
I don't know what size he is. I don't know if he's gonna make it. Oh, he's a little fella. Not even a pound, but he bit it. Well, that's a bite.
Guys, it can't be this tough.
Now, wouldn't y'all thought with that big explosion on that buzzbait that this fish would have been bigger than that?
There's one. Come off, you little sucker. I don't know. He's a little squirt. Come on, I need you to be a pound.
1 pound, 1 ounce.
Caught him on my little crankbait. Man, you need a bite. That thing will get a bite.
Russ Lane's caught his second fish. A 1 pound, 1 ounce. You're still 2 pounds, 10 ounces out of the lead.
I feel like my chances of catching a fish just skyrocketed right here. I mean, just, it looks so good.
I mean, I've just pulled up to it. It's a little flat point that sticks out. It's got like a little channel swing on it. And the cast before I caught that fish, I felt some hard, like a real hard place, about right in where I just threw. I threw to the left of it and caught that fish. So, I mean, it doesn't mean anything yet. Just trying to stay open-minded while they're not catching them, because everybody might be stuck and running around fishing that pretty bank grass right now. I don't know that, but they could be.
Something a little bigger, a little noisier. This water's got more color than I expected, so I'm gonna go to a bigger spook and see if that works. You know, a lot of times I start with smaller stuff this time of year because the bait fish they're eating are smaller, but get dirtier water like this, you just need something that'll make a little more noise.
Oh, God, there's another one. What? Is there a whole school out here?
5 more guys that don't have one yet?
It's correct. 5 anglers do not have a scoreable
That's
bass.
just crazy.
It's kind of like them snakes my wife's been killing around the house. I said, there been babies, but I said, Mama ain't far.
There we go. Please be a scorer. I think it is.
1 pound, 4 ounces.
1.4, even better. All right. Beginning to wonder.
Brent Chapman just caught the 6th fish of the day. It weighed 1 pound,
Hold
4
on.
ounces.
Hold that thought.
Stay on there, buddy.
We just caught us a bass. There's a piece of wood right there that's actually submerged. You couldn't see it above the water.
2 pounds, 12 ounces.
212. We got us a scoreable bass. Finally broke the ice. It's took us a little bit.
Now, that makes me feel better. Flipping a little creature bait around a dock, that makes sense. But I pitched it in there and it hit the bottom, and man, he went cruising out with it. So that's what we want.
The fish is exactly where it should have been, in my opinion. I don't know why I didn't get one off that other piece of wood. But an isolated piece of wood out here on a flat, a lot of bait fish around. A little rapple of tiny, flat-sided crankbait. Nice one to score with.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup, presented by B&W Trailer Hitches from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
We just caught us a bass.
2 pounds, 12 ounces.
212. We got us a scoreable bass. Finally broke the ice. It took us a little bit.
I bet if I had a couple more rods on the deck, I'd probably be catching them. I really didn't bring enough rods. I thought there's no way I'd use them all. But I should have brought more.
Lake Wateree is proving to be a difficult fishery this time of the year. Half the field is still on the hunt for their first scoreable bass. With these fish being so elusive, every bite that gets away cuts like a knife. 1 hour remains in the first period, and at the end of the day, only the top 6 anglers will advance to the sudden death rounds.
I mean, this is crazy. Crazy, I tell you.
We might as well be moving around looking while they're not biting. I don't want to still be looking for them if they go to biting real good.
There's shad all over in here. Be flicking around.
That's a long species. I mean, I'm too much mud. Yeah, I don't want to even touch this dude.
He might score. He's long and skinny.
1 pound, 0 ounces.
Hey, we're on the board, a little flipping fish. Maybe we just need to slow down.
Elton Jones Jr. just got on the board with a 1 pound, 0 ounce bass.
They need to reweigh that.
Yeah, everybody's struggling to catch 1 pounder right now, it sounds like.
I think it might be a little tough, guys.
It was a scoreable, and it's something to go off of, you know?
Yeah, we gotta take 1 pounder here, I guess. Not get any bite, so I don't know what I get.
Wish I knew if this lake had spotted bass in it.
Dang, I can't see grass moving. Like I know there's fish in this stuff.
No, it looks all good. Have no fish.
On the board.
Okay, 2 pounds, 4 ounces.
Took us a little while to put our hands on one, but it's a good one.
Anthony Gagliardi's caught his first fish, 2 pounds, 4 ounces, moves him into 5th place. Alton moves you to 6th.
All right. Let's skedaddle.
Made us a big jump. A 2 pounder wouldn't move you very far a couple weeks ago.
It's been a fiery first period, huh?
30 minutes.
No reason in the world I ought not get some bites in here.
I'm not looking for you guys.
He's thinking about it. He's a good dog.
I'm back here in the back of this little ditch, and there's like just a little flow of clear water coming in, and the shad are piled up back here. Like this is what you want to find. I mean, this is it.
Could use a 5 pounder right about now. Make it interesting.
Well, we're still just in search mode, you know, just trying to find something to build off of. I mean, we've caught a couple fish, so I'm fortunate for that, but really about the only thing I've got so far is go fish bridges, which we've only seen one other bridge, and flip docks, but, you know, which makes sense. Or you just throw in the shade around nothing. Get in here.
God, that's fish landing violation, 2-minute penalty.
Tucker Harold, Brent Chapman's in penalty right now, so I'll let you know when he gets out.
Okay. No big deal.
2 pounds, 2 ounces.
2-2. There we go. About that. See, that right there just shows you how weird and random fall fishing can be. Here we fished what looked so good, and I just kicked the trolling motor on high, and throw a bladed jig just out in the shade and catch a 2-pounder. So, you know, sometimes it just doesn't make sense. But that's the thing about the fall. The fish are always moving, and that's why sometimes, you know, when it's tough like that, just pick up a moving bait. You know, I said a spinner bait. You know, spinner bait's great, a bladed jig, a lipless crankbait. So that felt good. I'm glad we caught that fish. This is a nice, steep, shaded bank here. So I don't know, maybe we can catch a couple and have something to build off of.
Takahiro, as a result of that last penalty that Chapman had, was 2 pounds, 2 ounces. He is now in first place with 4 pounds, 15 ounces. Moves you to second place with 4 pounds, 3 ounces.
That's fine.
This water's it's right on the edge of, you know, being a little bit, having too much color for the jerkbait.
It's cool about this format and where we go. 2 weeks ago, when you told me the leader, like it's, I don't know, it's 50 pounds by now, and now it's 4 something. It just goes to show how different places are.
One, line's in.
Line's in. All right, let's try that again. That was fun.
5 minutes remaining in the period.
It's hard to believe I hadn't caught a little one, skipping that little worm around these docks.
Just amazed how tough right now here.
There's another one. Get in here, please be a scorer. That looks like a 1-1. That one earlier was 14 ounces. This one's 1-2, 1-1.
1 pound, 1 ounce.
How about that?
Takahiro, Brent Chapman's caught another fish, 1 pound, 1 ounce. He now has 6 pounds, 0 ounces.
Good for him. Yeah, we all know how he likes to fish.
10 seconds.
2 fish off of 1 spot. That's pretty encouraging there.
That was like a 4-pounder chasing bait.
3, 2, 1, lines out into period 1.
Well, obviously that wasn't the period we wanted, but my confidence is still really high of even winning a round.
Bluebird skies, September. Woo! I know I'm doing the right thing, though. Gotta keep going.
Obviously, fishing is not very good right now, and I guess I'm glad what I got, but I'm not gonna come back this quick.
But that one we caught, that one scoreable bass was thankfully a decent one, and we're not sitting in a bad spot. And I did catch it off of a piece of isolated wood, honestly on something that I would kind of expect to. If I've got anything that makes any sense, it does seem like off of the main lake, which is what I'm on right now, but off of the main lake is where there seems to be more bait.
Right there, dude. I just had like a 4-pounder come chasing a shad out of this grass. I haven't caught one, but I've only done it for about 10 minutes. I missed one and saw a good one. When I got to the south end of the lake, there's a lot more water, and this water willow is starting to clean up. So I don't know if this is just a deeper pocket of water willow, or once I go further south, we'll actually get that good fishable water in it. So to start the next period, I'm gonna come back down here.
We've got 2 more periods. I don't think we're gonna need a lot. We're gonna need more than we have, but it ain't gonna take a lot.
You know, you need bites. You need bites to figure out where they are and what they want. Seeing a lot more bait in the backs of the pocket, so this next period I'm gonna key more on that and change baits up, see what happens.
I think I caught 1 on a crankbait, 1 on a creature bait, and 2 on a bladed jig. So I don't know if I've got much of a pattern going other than we've survived 1 period. We got 2 more to survive, so go back, have a little break, do some retying, but I feel like I'm at least dialed in with some stuff to look at, which when it's this tough, that's all you can ask for sometimes.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by B&W Trailer Hitches, Towing Adventure, Yeti, built for the wild, Builder's First Source, combining to serve you, Mercury Marine, go boldly, and by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Going into break, I was still scratching my head. It was clear to me that fishing was incredibly tough, like some of the toughest I'd ever seen.
It was really crazy just how slow that it was. I made one good cast in 2.5 hours and caught a fish. I don't have anything figured out. I don't know that anybody does at this point.
It's a little discouraging, you know, running through a lot of stuff, trying a lot of different baits and not getting bites that tell you you're getting anywhere. You know, it's not going good, but I'm 2 pounds out, you know, and that's all that matters. It's just trying to survive.
I don't think there's any way that it can stay this tough the entire day. The conditions aren't that bad.
All my guys is not stupid. They are good fishermen. So if those guys not light it up, squat trucker, means fishing is a little bit off.
It's easy to get dejected when you're not doing well, but when it was as tough as it is, you stay mentally focused, like you stay mentally into it, because you know one more bite, even as small as it is, puts you right back up there in the middle of the pack, and so you stay with it.
While our pros make their adjustments for period 2, let's take a look at the score tracker. With the first period wrapped up, one angler is having relative success. Brent Chapman is the only angler to catch more than 2 bass and now has more weight than the bottom 5 competitors combined. He is our current Builder's First Source Angler 1. However, 2 periods of Major League Fishing action still remain, and there's plenty of time for anybody to flip the script and write their own perfect ending.
We are 1 minute away from starting period 2, and if that first period was any indication of that big morning feed we had, I think the rest of this is gonna be pretty tough.
We just gotta hold our ground. Not often you come in to break after the whole first period, you caught 1 fish and you're in it.
Blazing Cajun.
You know, I've figured out a couple baits that are working, so that's the main thing. Is, you know, we've got a couple patterns that are or techniques that'll catch fish. So it looks like it's just one of those deals where it's just get down and cover water, and that's what we're gonna do.
I'm gonna expand the water, so I'm not going to back where I was for sure.
You know, we're still in search mode. In the last 10 minutes of that last period, I missed a decent-sized scoreable bass, and I saw a good one chase bait in an area that just had some stuff that I like. So I'm gonna run back to that same region.
You get bites, you know, you can start building a pattern. If you're not getting bites, it's hard to know what to do.
What to do next? Do I fish this bridge where Talker Hero told me not to?
Always exciting, unknown things, because I don't know what to expect.
5,
2 more periods to keep it
3,
going.
2, 1, go.
All right. Yeah, I got a company.
I'm just coming down here to another creek down south and thinking maybe fish will be out a little bit more better, like better than it was up there. And I'm gonna run around and crank some of these little flat points.
Chapman went up the lake. Talker Hero and Russ are both in here.
I'm gonna move to the back of the creek, I guess.
So this reminds me of just like where I caught my fish at the other spot, so let's try it.
Banks are funny. You look at them, usually, you know, you can kind of look at them and tell if they're gonna have a little drop or a shelf or something, and you get over there and it doesn't do what you think it's gonna do.
The way the wind's blowing right now, I think there'd be one on every little corner of this stuff.
Just looking at this color water, you wouldn't think these fish would be any more than 5 feet deep.
I think it looks a little cleaner. Then I get up here and look for the head of the trolling motor, and it's about the same. Put something on there a little brighter.
I like in a cup to be able to fish these little small lakes I never fished in my life. And this is really refreshing. It's a good format to be able to come small lakes, not the same places I've been fishing so many years.
My idea is to fish these boat docks on the main river right down through here.
No changes. No changes. We need to change it.
It's gotta be.
1 pound, 8 ounces.
Thank you. Those fish is a good fish today.
Takahiro Omori, 1 pound, 8 ounces.
He's in this creek somewhere.
Takahiro Omori, he's 5 ounces behind you.
Come on, fish. Let's weigh him just in case.
Maybe. Has a keeper. How in the world did I break that? 15 ounces. Non-scorable.
Can I weigh him again?
Yes, sir. 15 ounces, non-scorable.
We're almost halfway through the day. 6 pounds is leading and 2 pounds is the cut.
He's gonna be close. No, if he is, dude, look at how dark that fish is. Looks like a Florida bass. Come on, go one even. He's about the same size as that other one.
1 pound, 0 ounces.
No kidding. Look at the color on him. Look, I want you to see something. He's actually blind in one eye, and this is gonna sound funny, but a lot of fish that I've caught that, you know, if they're like jet black and really dark, they're actually blind. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because when they go blind, they stay shallow and just get tons of sun, but that fish was blind.
Takahiro out and Jones Jr. has caught another fish. 1 pound, 0 ounces brings his total to 2 pounds, 0 ounces. He's still in 6th place.
As long as I'm not 7th, I'll be good.
I can get a couple bites doing this. It feels right. I mean, I wouldn't say I've had success yet with it, but it feels right. And, you know, just one bite gives me confidence to do it for a little bit longer. And I feel like it's a good way to catch a big one fishing this way.
Darn it, has a bite. That had to be a keeper, too. He stopped it cold.
Who's the 2 that ain't on the board? Rose and who else?
Greg Vincent.
Okay. God. I can promise you they ain't gonna 0.
I don't want to count on Mark Rose and Greg not catching one. Like, I don't think that's not the plan that's gonna work.
Go.
You know, I said I thought I forgot something. I know what it is now. Square bills.
You just need to make it today, you know? You don't have to win. You just need to make it today, so not be greedy, you know?
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup. Presented by B&W Trailer Hitches from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
There's only been 5 fish caught since you caught yours.
That just doesn't make any sense.
Shouldn't be this tough.
Has anybody ever caught one fish and made it through a round? Has that ever happened?
I don't know.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Takahiro Omori is closing in on Brent Chapman and is only 6 ounces from overtaking the top spot. But more importantly for Tak, he's distancing himself from the 6th place elimination line. Greg Vincent and Mark Rose are on the outside looking in as they continue to struggle to find scoreable bass. Unlocking a lake's secrets this time of the year can be a tricky puzzle to solve. For more on that, here's Marty Stone for today's 6-hour Success Insight.
One of the toughest times for an angler to fish on these southern impoundments is late summer and early fall, especially when this first cooling trend starts setting in like we've got here on Lake Wateree. Anglers want to accelerate the movement of bass and bait fish when you have these fall mornings like we've had this morning where the temps were in the 50s and the daytime highs are going to reach the 70s. Those type of days is going to cause some bait fish movement, but it's not going to be a mass movement. And there's always a common denominator where the bait fish is going to move to. 1, it's going to be shallow, and 2, it's going to be somewhere current related. Takahiro Omori and Brent Chapman are both having success in this open period, and both of them are pushing as far back as they can get on these shallow flat creeks on Lake Wateree. The key, the presence of shad. The next key is there's a little bit of off-colored water, a good stain in the mix. And then the third and final piece of the puzzle is both of them are using reaction baits. rotating between a vibrating jig and a shallow running crankbait. They're having to make multiple casts at targets because they're competing with all the shad in the area. The bait fish are present and the bass are back there feeding, but because there's so much bait in the area, it makes it extremely tough for an angler to generate a bite. The reaction's the key, and both of these anglers have dialed that in.
Yeah, this Round1 2D shows really good nowadays. I mean, they show a lot of bait fish. This looks good.
I've heard good things about this lake, too. It's just a very, very hard time of the year.
He's not gonna make it. You talking about a... Look at that fish there. We'll put him on there. I just want to know how little he weighs.
12 ounces, non-scoreable.
He's 14 inches long, 12 ounces.
We're now 3.5 hours into the day, and I've still made one good cast.
Ooh, we're gonna catch some back here.
You are 4 pounds out of first place.
It's one bite. That's all it is.
Golly, that fish came at me doing 100 miles an hour.
There's one. Get in the boat. Gosh, he's barely hooked too. How about that?
1 pound, 8 ounces.
Pound and a half, skinny, pitiful. And I'm so glad that I caught him.
1 pound, 10 ounces.
110, how about that? That is exciting right there. I'm looking out here and I'm guessing all these little things are probably stake beds. It's what they put down for crappie. And sometimes these fish will get out on these flats and I'll take it.
Score tracker update on that last fish brought you up to 4 pounds, 4 ounces. You're currently 1 pound, 12 ounces out of the lead.
Okay. Just taking a little swim jig, a little shad-colored swim jig, and covering water, and that fish was super, super shallow. Hit it doing 100 mile an hour. I can't believe I caught it.
That last fish gives you 1 pound, 15 ounce lead over second.
Post front, Bluebird Skies, just put on a blue and chrome lipless crankbait and go to town. So let's see here.
Brent Chapman, he now leads with 7 pounds, 10 ounces.
Running away with it.
He's caught a third of the bass that's been caught today.
I don't mind Brent keep catching, as long as somebody behind me catching. That'd be suck.
You need 5 pounds, 2 ounces to take the lead.
Well, let's just do that.
Throwing this little jerk bait, we're in a little creek right here, and it's just a little rocky, a really rocky bank. And I mean, that's all we got to go on right now. One of them was I lost one of them. It was a scoreable. It was over 1.5 pounds, I'm sure.
Just like this.
2 pounds, 4 ounces.
That's a 2 pounder, and whatever the name of the lake here, it's a healthy fish. You might not see this again, so you better see it now.
Takahiro Omori, he's caught a 2 pound, 4 ounce fish. He's in first place with 7 pounds, 15 ounces. You're 5 ounces behind him.
Wow.
No, I'm just like the way they're going. And I'm leading the day with the way I like to fish. So if I keep doing what I'm doing like this, there should be no problem the rest of the day.
Oh, no wonder I got the hydro wave shut off. No wonder I haven't been catching more.
It's been so hard to get bites. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't go back and fish this again through here, but man, I feel like if I can just catch one, it'd be well worth it.
This water's definitely high. You can see where those poles typically, I guess it's about where they typically rub at on there, so I guess it's not too high. Guess I need to find a better excuse.
Birds think this is a good spot. Not a big one, little. Not gonna score. What was he thinking eating a swimming jig, you know?
That's a fish. Right where I caught the other one. Get in the boat, yeah. You can't have that lead that long, Tuck. Take that.
£2, 1 ounce.
2-1. Whew.
Brett just caught his 6th fish of the day. He now has 9 pounds, 11 ounces, moving back into first place.
Brent's starting to get a little bit of something figured out. I mean, he ain't like he's catching one every 10 minutes, but he definitely is. He finds the right thing, he's getting a bite.
The way it's going, I think it might be safe. Unless all of a sudden they just get wild.
I don't know what's down there, but boy, that feels good.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing. Deciding whether to fish bridges or docks can be a major decision. Mark Rose has found a place where he can do both, as you can see here in today's favorite fishing overview of the day. We've passed the midpoint of the day here on Lake Watery, and with bites hard to come by, nobody is running away with an easy win just yet. As time winds down in Period 2, these pros in the middle of the pack could be leaving the door open for Mark Rose and Greg Vinson to stage a late-day comeback.
I've caught 2 bass out here, and they've both been literally, it seems like almost the same cast. But what's weird is I don't feel anything down there, like a brush pile or a stake bed or anything like that, or stumps But, hey, it's bass fishing in the fall, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense, and you just keep chucking and winding.
I'm gonna go try to run a little further down lake just to see if that changes our luck, see if we get in a little deeper grass, a little thicker, you know, stuff that really maybe I could flip and you know, pick the dark areas in it, because that right now I either have grass with enough water, or it's thin, or it's thick and it's too shallow. So I want to find some thick stuff that's got enough water and pick that baby apart.
Dude, it's only 5 feet, this marina, and they should have bass hanging around if this much stuff in the water.
And I think we got just under 30 minutes remaining in the period.
Okay. All right, let's get us one right there. There's one.
That's a big one. Stop.
That's what we're looking for, baby. That ain't no 1-pounder. Golly, gobbled that thing. Thank you, Lord.
2 pounds, 13 ounces.
213. Hey, I knew whenever we got around this stuff that if I flipped for long enough, I'd get a couple quality bites. There's one. That helps the cause, but you know, if we can catch us one more, as tough as fishing is, in this next period, if he's that big or bigger, he'll be the right, you know, we'll be advancing on. Just flipping a little tube right here. And it's just a confidence bait, and you know, fishing's so tough out here right now. If I have one word of advice for anybody fishing, when it's tough, throw what you have confidence in. And that little tube right there, flipping it around, it's my confidence bait.
Elton Jones Jr. just caught his 3rd fish. It weighed 2 pounds, 13 ounces. He moved into 3rd place, Ott, pushing you down to 4th.
What'd you do that for, Junior?
The 6th spot is 2 pounds and 4 ounces now.
Man, sounds so easy, but it's so hard.
For flipping this grass, I've kind of had a 3-punch system. If I'm in really sparse stuff, I'm either swimming a jig, throwing a spinner bait if it's windy. And those are my 2 like windy, like choppy conditions. And when I'm in the calmer stuff, I've got 2 different tubes rigged up. One with the lightweight if I'm in sparse stuff, if I'm in a heavy, you know, one with a heavyweight. And that fish right there came on a heavyweight. So I think that tells me getting the thickest stuff you can find on those deeper stretches.
What is that? snagged a shad.
Wow, shad is here.
Look at them all. Look at them. They're little. There's a whole wad of them.
I feel like I'm breaking every rule in bass fishing. You don't just get out and cast around like this and catch them. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But the only thing that makes sense about it is it's September.
In August, September, October, this pattern right here is typically almost a fail-safe. You're gonna catch fish doing this.
Big fish out of stuff like this back home. Oh, latch on to it, I dare you.
There we go. Come on. There we go. Come on. Please don't come off. All right. That's big. Woo. Deep hole, too. Better be a pound.
1 pound, 5 ounces.
All right. You're talking about a grind. Woo. Thank you, though.
Score tracker update. Russ Lane just caught his 3rd fish. He's in 5th place. He has 3 pounds, 13 ounces.
What do I have?
You have 4 pounds, 4 ounces. You're 2 pounds above 6th place.
Come on, fish. There's no reason not to be a bite in here.
Just one bite. Sounds so easy.
Brent caught 2 this period. I caught 2 this period.
Yeah, both of you did.
What's crazy is I'm leading this thing, and I'm like clueless. I mean, I feel like I just don't even have a clue of what to do the final period.
1 minute.
Ah, shoot. So it's time for me to catch another one.
Man, I wish I had another like 2 minutes here. We're coming to a really good looking stretch.
7th and 8th are both 0. Greg Vincent, Mark Rose.
I fear for those guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Line down.
Still trying to figure it out.
That sucked.
Did not go as planned.
Not good at all. But it's the same for everybody, so got 1 more period left. But I think I'm in a good shape, so.
Well, it was a grind, but it was successful, you know. As tough as it is, I mean, we caught 2 scoreable bass. One was a 1 pound dink, and the other one was a solid 2 3/4. And that 2 3/4 goes a really, really long way when score tracker just slow as it is.
I think maybe if I can catch one more, maybe I'll go ahead and move on to the next round. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to catch one first.
We need to catch us a scoreable bass or 2 this next period, and I think we'll be fine. That is pretty tragic to say, but that is kind of where it's at.
It appears we're still leading this thing with what I would consider probably one of the toughest days we've ever had in the Cup event. And going into the 3rd period, I still don't have a clue what to do. I mean, to catch 2 fish randomly out, you know, side by side in the middle of a cove, no structure around to speak of. So good thing is we've got some weight that people have to catch me. So the 3rd period, we're just gonna go fishing just like the rest of them and keep hunting.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Squincher, hydration that works. Favorite Fishing, the future of fishing. Toyota, let's go places. And by Toro, count on it.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup. Presented by B&W Trailer Hitches from Rock Hill, South Carolina. The anglers are in the final break of Elimination Round 1. While they gear up for Period 3, let's get a look at the score tracker. With a total of 6 bass, Brent Chapman continues to lead. But at the bottom of the score tracker, Greg Vinson and Mark Rose are not so fortunate. Only the top 6 will move on to sudden death, and Anthony Gagliardi is inside the elimination line with just 1 bass. These anglers have struggled so far here on Lake Wateree, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. For more on that, let's go out to Marty Stone for today's Yeti Cooler Talk.
Late summer, early fall, and it's tough, and you know it. Right now, you're in great shape, 3rd place, but less than 5 pounds. This lake is fish tough. What are you gonna do to close this thing out?
You know, all I can hope to do is catch 1 or 2 more scoreable bass and hope another one, you know, I catch another one close to 3 pounds. That's the only reason I'm in the position I'm in. I was like, I got 1 quality bite, and I'm doing something that I have confidence doing. I'm fishing like back home. I'm flipping shallow grass and just having fun with it. That's, you know, when it's tough, do what you're confident in. And right now, score tracker's pretty slow, so I can afford to just go fish the way I like to fish.
What's it like hearing that score tracker not move? And you're right there. 1 bite either way, you're either gonna be in or out.
You know, it's scary, but it's also takes a little bit of the pressure off, in my opinion. You know, when score tracker is going crazy, that's when it's the most intense. But when it's kind of stale, like it is today, when fishing's tough, you can just put your head down and work on that next bite. You don't have to worry about finding a mother load of fish. You just work on the next bite, and that's all you got to do today.
Al Jones Jr., he's accepted the challenge that we've got for him at the Challenge Cup. 1 more bite could be the key for him to be able to advance to sudden death.
Well, here it is, the final period. And we just got to make sure we stay above that number 6 spot. So we're going to go try to win this deal, though.
I got not much to lose or none to lose, I guess.
I mean, you got to kind of go with the odds, like this real bright skies, high pressure. So I'm going to try to focus on anything that makes shade.
You know, it's all about getting 1 quality bite. If we can get 1 2 to 3 pound or bigger bite, we'll advance to sudden death round.
We got a long way to go. Actually, we don't have a long way to go. All we gotta do is catch us 5 or 6 pounds this period and we can do it. Let's go do it, y'all. Y'all come along with me.
Go.
Easy, big fella, easy. I ain't got nowhere to go anyway.
Well, I don't know what looks good anymore or what doesn't, so what the heck, we'll just try this.
Just gonna try something a little different for a couple casts. This would be a great way to catch a 5-pounder. Got plenty of water here.
But it looks not bad. Water cutter looks fine, too.
This water's so clear, like, that's why I'm throwing a frog here.
Just need to catch like a 5-pounder. That'd be enough.
There's a fish.
That's exactly what we're looking for right there. Eat that crankbait. I just hope that I ain't the one for the whole period that we caught right here in the first
1
5
pound,
minutes.
13 ounces.
As long as that ain't the only one for this period again. He hit it like he ought to have some buddies down there. Just to be quite honest.
Hot the Foe just caught a 1 pound, 13 ounce. He's now
Did he?
6 pounds and 1 ounce, 3rd place.
He did that quick.
Well, he sure didn't waste any time, did he?
And that was the first fish caught of the period.
First and only, or just the first?
First and only.
You catch a scoreable fish, and you'll be in 4th.
All right. Well, we got to do that.
And how far is Takahiro behind me?
Takahiro was 1 pound, 12 ounces.
I'm sure Takehiro's doing the same thing.
This looks good up here. I'm sure nobody fished this kind of stuff. Local.
Man, that creek where we ended the 2nd period, there was just a lot of stuff going on, but it's not like that around here, though.
There we go, little guy. We'll put him on the scale, but I don't think. I guess when they're so few and far between.
12 ounces, non-scoreable.
Closer than I thought.
To my first fish, that's all I needed today.
We caught our fish for the period. Might as well call it a day.
a little.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to a local about this place just to see what we're doing wrong.
A little bit less than 2 hours remaining.
Still no changes?
No, sir.
That's crazy.
No change.
God. How can it be this tough?
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing.
I was surprised to see Taka Hero not load his boat up at the break. I figured he was done. He'd caught enough.
Since I gave you your last date, there's literally been no change.
The nap time.
Today's 8 anglers are hanging in there, searching desperately for their next scoreable bass. At the elimination line, the bar is set at 2 pounds 4 ounces. Should one of these anglers below the elimination line land on a school, they could change their fate in an instant. Only an hour and a half remain in this third and final period.
Looking for more of that deep grass. That's just what I'm gonna do. It's what I'm gonna commit to.
Down through the middle of this thing, see if anything shows up.
Could be whites, could be largemouth, could be mixed. But there's a bunch of something down there.
There's one. Oh, gosh. Come on.
Just come up schooling somewhere, please. Just like pounding the heifers.
All these boats I've seen out here with 3 people in them. I wonder if they in a high school tournament tomorrow or something here.
There's a lot of guys out here that there must be a tournament tomorrow or something that must be practicing or something.
What'd you say? Huh?
1 pound 0 ounces.
That's 3 1-0s. Boy, I jacked him up. I hit him hard with that swim jig. That'll put us close to that 6 pound mark that I said was safe. And it's crazy to even say that, but.
Taka Hero got an update for you. Alton Jones Jr., 5 pounds 13 ounces. His last fish was 1 pound 0 ounces.
That's it?
That's it.
I'm glad what I got in the morning.
He's still in 4th place.
He's separating from me, though.
I'm calling foul on that one. 3 1-pounders. Seems a little fishy, you know?
Just looking at Score Tracker, you know, I would think that if I can get to 6 pounds, that'll put me in a really safe place, and I'm just a few ounces off that now. So, you know, one more scoreable, and I'd say we're guaranteed into the sudden death round, be it a 1-pounder or a 4-pounder. But one bite's hard to come by. I mean, that's easier said than done.
It's gonna be skinny.
There we go. Nope. We can throw him on there just to see. There's some bigger ones in them.
13 ounces, non-scoreable.
All right.
Well, we gambled and lost on that little hunch, but we'll just keep looking here.
All right, we're cranking up. We're gonna go up to that, keep working up towards that creek.
No bass over here.
What does Gagliardi need to pass me?
He needs a 1 pound 10 ounce bass.
That's a giant, but anybody can do it.
Uh-oh. Maybe. Let me come to the back. I want to get on the other side of these poles. Well, well.
1 pound 9 ounces.
Yeah, finally. Took a long time to get us to number 2. The only thing I've caught anything so far is this Berkeley bottom hopper. It's old school power bait.
Anthony Gagliardi's caught his second fish. 1 pound 9 ounce bass.
Here we go.
He's now tied with you.
3 pounds, 13 ounces.
How does that work? If we were to
You've
tie-
caught one more fish than him.
So I would.
You have the first tiebreaker.
Crazy.
That changed the cut?
Yes, the cut is now 3 pounds, 13 ounces.
Son.
It's still him.
What do I got to catch to move up?
Fourth place, Alton Jones Jr. has 5 pounds, 13 ounces.
I mean, you would think it's just kind of, it's a big spot out here and you can't get one bite. Surely to goodness, you'd think if you keep fishing, you can get another one.
Crappie. Well, look at how he ate that. DT6 gone.
Who's in 7th then?
Well, that's going to be a toss-up between Mark Rose and Greg Vincent.
And they still neither caught one.
Still neither have a scoreable bass.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't catch one in a pickle jar today.
I think that's a bass. Catfish.
15 ounces, non-scoreable.
You weigh him again?
We can.
Okay.
15 ounces, non-scoreable.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
We've caught a bass, scoreable bass every single period. What more can you want, you know?
Come dead sea. Can't get bit.
Oh my goodness. Dude, that was a 4-pounder.
You could probably go in right now if you wanted to.
Yeah. No. Maybe if I had like 20 pounds or something, but my wife is liable to divorce me if I did that.
It's not good. I don't catch any bass this period.
I got him. That's the one I saw. Whoo-wee. Now, on a day like today, that's a good one. He's a little bigger than 4, though.
4 pounds, 14 ounces.
Man, it took us all day to catch a good fish. That's a pretty fish, too. I think that one might do it.
Anthony Gagliardi just caught a 4-pound, 14-ounce fish.
Oh my gosh.
He's now in 2nd place. He's 1 pound, 0 ounces behind you. He's got 8 pounds, 11 ounces. You've got 9 pounds, 11 ounces.
Wow. That's a way to make a move, isn't it?
Good for him, man.
Moved you to 3rd.
That's okay.
Twin spin with my Berkeley power swimmer. I saw him bite it.
So now Russ is on the chopping block, isn't he?
Russ is on the chopping block.
Oh, I bet he's waiting.
On the bubble.
Welcome back to General Tire's Major League Fishing for the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup. Presented by B&W Trailer Hitches from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Greg Vincent and Mark Rose still haven't caught a fish.
You gotta be kidding me.
This blows my mind.
But one bite and they could be in. You know, man, that's what's crazy.
One of them, I would catch a 4-pounder any minute. They'll pass me. Any minute.
After spending much of the day perched just above the elimination line, Anthony Gagliardi created some much-needed distance with a pair of bass, including a 4-pound, 14-ounce Berkeley big bass of the day. There's still a glimmer of hope for anybody to make a comeback, but the clock is not on their side.
That last fish is about as good. That's about as good as they can feel. You know, when you're struggling, it's a tough day. Nobody's catching much, and you know, you're just trying to do anything you can, scratch and claw for a 1-pound fish. because it means a lot. The 1 pounder, I mean, it means a lot. It's big. And then when you get lucky like that and you catch a 5, like that's huge, man. I mean, it's just like I said a minute ago, it's like catching 4 scorables, like what we've been catching, what everybody else has been catching. So, man, I went from 6th to 2nd, almost the lead, just with that 1 fish. So, I mean, that's a great feeling.
How in the world can you flip this much good wood cover with good depth and current and not get a bite?
But all of my fish have been out of this creek. I caught the 1 scoreable at the mouth of it, and the rest have been in this creek.
I'll just keep fishing to maybe I can figure out something good for my salon this round, but so far I find nothing.
I need a fish. Bad. Really bad.
We close. I don't think this one's gonna do it. I think he's gonna be a little short.
15 ounces, non-scoreable.
Is that just the time of the year, maybe? Yeah, all looks good, but just can't get bit.
That's a fish.
Don't know if he'll make it. Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be close. 1 pound, 0 ounces.
Oh, 1-0 even. We'll take,
Oh. Brent Chapman actually broke 10 pounds. He's 10 pounds, 11 ounces.
Golly. Crushed him.
Double digits.
I mean, that's the thing. It seems like when you get it around one, they're hungry and they bite good, but it just doesn't seem like there's many fish.
I'd like to catch one more just to say I did catch 2 in a period.
It'd be fun to catch a 5-pounder doing this, just dagger.
I'm glad what I caught in the morning. I figure they get better on the shad bite in the afternoon, but it don't matter, I guess. I'm down.
3 minutes.
Which one of them's gonna catch the 4-pounder?
You say he needs 314 because he's got 3 fish.
Fishing to get him right here.
Oh, you gotta eat that. Come on. Oh, you suckers.
We're gonna save all our fish catches for sudden death and championship rounds, what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I think I saw enough. It's just time to go home.
Out there, yeah. I just had one come off that felt decent. This one, oh yeah, this one's pretty decent. I caught 2 in a period, baby, 2 in a period. Out of this school of bass I just found. Give me a score tracker update.
1 pound, 13 ounces.
Pound, 13 ounce bass. Rapala OG Tiny. On this tough, brutal, tough day.
10 seconds.
I don't even know if I can get one in that far out now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lines out, end of round.
End of the round, and we made it through, baby. Made it through a very challenging day in the Challenge Cup.
Well, we did it. We did it. It wasn't easy, and we sure waited to the last minute to make it happen.
Hey, we're advancing. I think today was a record-breaking day for lowest weights. I don't know what the historics say, but it's got to be close for the lowest weights to advance. But the good thing is we're advancing and we're surviving on to sudden death, and that's where the real fun starts.
I think the 2 that were eliminated never caught one. That's as tough a day as I can remember in Major League Fishing, in a cup, in anything.
Did they catch one or not?
It does not appear that they did.
Whoo! Gosh, what a grind.
I fished my red-headed heart out today. Only caught 4 or 5 fish little, and then had 1 3-pounder.
hey, it is what it is. I get to go home and hang out with the prettiest girl in Arkansas tonight when I don't make the cut, so.
Water-E kicked my butt today. But in this format, you go with what you got, the type of pattern you got confidence in, just looking for fish that would be around bait, and figured I could find what bait to catch them on. Just didn't work out.
I don't know to be excited about that or relieved or what, but what a crazy day. If there was ever a tournament you call a grind, I would definitely call this one. And we survived. Now it's off to sudden death.
General Tire's Major League Fishing is brought to you by General Tire. Anywhere is possible. Sig Sauer. Never settle. Abu Garcia. Fish to win. Powered by Optima Batteries. And by Barbasol Shaving Cream and Razors, a close, comfortable shave for the past 100 years.
Today, 8 Major League Fishing pros kicked off the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup to test their skills. With no practice and no information, they had to scramble to locate these South Carolina bass. Takahiro Omori got off to a promising start, weighing in 2 fish in the first hour. But it was Brent Chapman who closed out the first period in the lead. In the second period, Chapman and Tak jockeyed for the lead. But Chapman was able to pull ahead. In the final period, Anthony Gagliardi and Ott Defo each snagged a pair of bass to distance themselves from the elimination line.
I caught 2 in a period, baby, 2 in a period.
Then Brent Chapman iced the lead and crossed the 10-pound mark. Let's catch up with Brent and check out his winning baits in Bass Pro Shop's End of the Line.
Hey, I'm Brent Chapman, and here's the bait that helped me win my round. The bladed jig was the bait that got me through and what clearly won it for me. And it's just a bait I've got a tremendous amount of confidence with. It's a bait you can fish super shallow, or you can really slow roll it down and fish it deep. And it's just such an effective bait, especially in the fall. You know, it's a bait that you can mimic shad very, very well with it. It's kind of a clear water shad color. I threw a 3/8 ounce version up really shallow. And then if I got out deeper, I'd pick up a 1/2 ounce version. I can slow it down a little bit as well. So a bladed jig's very, very versatile. It mimics shad very, very well. Great way to cover water. And it was a great way for me to win my round.
Get in the boat, yeah.
With today's win, Brent Chapman is advancing to sudden death. He'll be joined there by Anthony Gagliardi, Takahiro Omori, Ott Defo, Alton Jones Jr., and Russ Lane. The bottom 2 anglers will be heading home. Today's Barbasol Close Shave goes to Russ Lane. He was first on the score tracker, but then later struggled to find the consistent pattern. The Berkeley Big Bass of the day goes to Anthony Gagliardi, who hauled in this 4-pound, 14-ounce toad to help secure his spot in the sudden death round.
Dude, I got him. That's the one I saw.
Let's send it over to Marty Stone, who's with today's winner, Brent Chapman.
15 cup events now, and you've won 5 of the elimination rounds. This format suits you, whether it's a whack fest or a grind like today. Talk about it.
Yeah, no, it is. This style really suits me. I love the no practice. I love coming out, and I've always said September is one of the hardest months of the year to fish, and today was no exception. The only thing I can take out of today was the creek. That's where I caught all my fish today. I ventured out. I spent a lot of time outside this creek, and I never caught a scoreable bass. I caught 1 or 2 little tiny ones, and that was it.
All right. Talk about variety. You use spinnerbait, a vibrating jig, a 1.5, and a crawl, all in the same areas. If I'm not mistaken, you even caught a few fish and then went back later and caught them off the same piece of cover.
I mean, you know, I tried all the typical fall deals. There was one point I pulled up to this morning and caught 2 and almost in back-to-back cast on a bladed jig. You know, after a run around trying other creeks, finally I'm like, you know what, I got a half hour to go. Let's run back to that point, and managed to throw a square bill and catch my last scoreable bass. If they're ever gonna be scattered, it's right now, and that's when you just have to stick your strengths in your hands and just grind it out.
Brent Chapman was the best angler today on Lake Water-E in what turned out to be a true grind. Now, he's 1 step closer to winning a championship, but first, he's got to get through sudden death.
Make sure you tune in next week for Elimination Round number 2 of the Lucas Oil Challenge Cup, presented by B&W Trailer Hitches from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Until then, thanks for watching General Tires Major League Fishing.
That's what we're looking for, baby.
MyOutdoorTV is your home for every Major League Fishing 2023 event,
Yes, sir.
including the new General Tire Team Series.
I put the team on my back, baby.
Watch free on MyOutdoorTV with promo code MLF30.